this is Dr. Stoll with Simuli, and this is an overview of SimuloRhexis 2.0. This is our updated version with a lot of great features. On the outside, this eye looks like many of the other eyes. It could look like phacomaster or aphakia or even small pupil, but it is quite different. It has some unique features that we want to go over. You'll notice that the positioning of the red clip that really secures the eye front on is opposite where this port is. We call this the access port because this is one of the unique features. It allows us to get access to the area behind the capsule and increase or decrease the pressure there. So we can raise the pressure in the eye, shallow the chamber, make the anterior capsule dome up, create that hill that the rhexis will want to run down and outward that we have to rescue. So it's very useful a feature. Keep in mind the eye comes with just what you're seeing here on this video. We're going to introduce the other components that are necessary for this eye to work, and those are contained in our various kits like the SimuloRhexis 2.0 kit and the anterior segment modular kit. So let's get into the eye now. So we'll take the red clip off and open up the eye front. And what we see is that we have our capsule 8.0. This is our Make a Rhexis capsule, of course, because we are specifically using this to make a rhexis. We wouldn't have the 5.5 capsule because we wouldn't make a rhexis over a pre-made rhexis. So we have a larger opening, and it comes with our reusable lens here, which you can see is biconvex, has a flatter anterior curve and deeper posterior curve. So this capsule is really the one to be used with our anterior capsule films. Now, the components that we need to make this work are the tubing with the cannula attached and our syringe. The syringe has a label that says attention, set plunger here before connecting, and there's an arrow that is roughly in the middle. So we set the plunger there, attach the tubing, and now we can take the cannula and put it through the access port. So this allows us to increase or decrease the posterior pressure. So as I adjust the pressure here, you can see that lens will start to rise. It will even eject it because there's no eye front or capsule to keep it back. But the point is, you can see how much movement we can get in this posterior capsule. We can increase the pressure. We can lock it off at a certain pressure if we want to hold it there, or we can also decrease and reset the capsular bag and the pressure. So when the eye is set up, of course, the lens will stay inside there, but if we have to reload it, make sure the anterior side is up. So this is our multi-base AP for access port, and the lens and capsule can be replaced if necessary. This is the one time where it's important not to break this, the posterior capsule on this, because then you'll lose your ability to change the pressure. The other feature of this to mention is that this is glued on and sealed. Do not try to open this. There's no need to fill this with water like the other models. We're not so much worried about the red reflex. The capsule films that we're using are stained, and so we get good visibility. We're not relying on a red reflex. So make sure to take caution and not break the capsule. If you do, capsules are available separately. They can be replaced. The reusable lens is available as well. And again, this lens, the eye comes with the components that you saw in the beginning, not the supporting items, which are really necessary and are available through the kit. So let me put the capsule back in place here. We can push it in like that. We can put this down on a flat surface and come over the top and install it that way. So it's pretty easy to get in there. And to begin working, we would put a little bit of dispersive viscoelastic over the lens, or you can have the lens out of here and you can just put some dispersive in the capsular bag and then put the lens in the correct position. That will displace some of that visco out on top, and that is perfect amount to have under the film. So the white side goes up for the rhexis film, and that helps hold it in place and provides a nice buffer there between the lens, almost like the cortex. And then the eye front goes on, and then the red clip goes on, keeping the access port available. So opposite the access port. Remember, do not unscrew. It's glued together. There's no need to fill with water. And now we can insert the cannula and the plunger was set to the midpoint beforehand. The reason for that is if we have it back here, we could have potentially too much pressure and break the capsule. If we have it down here, we wouldn't have enough adjustability. When you get started, you'll adjust the pressure up just to get rid of the wrinkles in the anterior capsule. You'll see that under the microscope. And then if you want to add pressure, you just a little bit at a time, you can add more posterior pressure. And that will be enough to shallow the chamber and make the anterior capsule dome so that the Rhexis tear wants to run down the hill and outward, and then we'll have to rescue it. And if you want to reset it, you can just pull back a little bit and decrease that pressure. And it really helps with your training because you can concentrate on really guiding the tear and learning to make that tear go where you want it to go. Again, the iris pupil size is 7.5 millimeters, and you can use that as a guide when creating a nice round 5.5 millimeter Rhexis. So allow yourself about a 1 millimeter barrier all the way around. So to reset, we would remove this cannula, and we could open up the eye, remove the clip, remove the eye front. At this point, the Rhexis film, which is consumable, will usually be located up inside the eye front. There would be a Rhexis tear in that. That just removes and is a discard. And then you could take a new film and put it over here. If you need to add some more viscoelastic, just add a little bit over the top and spread it around and put your next film on and reattach the eye front and reattach the clip. And it's really that fast to turn over, and then you're ready to set up the eye with the access port. Again, make sure that you're really setting this back to approximately midpoint, and then insert, and now you're ready to go again. So very high amount of realism in this when you're training for CCC. Really use this to get your confidence and get the steps down of where to grasp, how to tear, all the things that we talk about with tension on versus tension off, and learning how to rescue. And it really just can bring a lot of confidence to your surgical training. Okay, hope that helps. Thanks.